All right, I'm going to be waiting for some people to come in, and we're going to wait for people to come in, and then we're going to start the live stream. I'm good. I'm good, Stock Boy. I'm very good. Waiting for people to come in. I'm going to talk about a few key points. Edwin Lai, hey, good morning. Morning. Oh, it's a morning for you. Interesting. Good. Edwin. Morning from Indonesia. Hi, Mr. Bling. So wait for some people to come in. This is weird. It's saying there's more people in here than what it's saying is watching. Okay, there's the. Hello, Matt. How are you? So this is going to be an important live stream. I got some interesting spins on the Fed rate hikes again. Yeah. You know, for me, I really don't care, honestly, what, you know, what's said in the news, or it's all part of what has to happen, right? We do have we have some powerful, I use more statistical measurement, right? And we are, I said this many times, hello, GB. I said this many times, people, we're in this market is very different than the past markets. In fact, I'd say there was a big shift in the market starting in 2016. In other words, a lot of people who have a lot of experience in the market from, let's say, I don't know, even earlier than the year 2000. Okay, so we'll go back to even here. Or people that are coming from the 90s and are kind of like winding down now. We are a very different era here from 2016. In other words, the skill sets required here are going to be very different than the skill sets of the past. This is my opinion. In other words, it's solving problems, and I'm going to prove my point very clearly in this live stream. I'll give you some things to think about here, right? What I believe has happened with the market is we are kind of like finished a correction. Although we finished a correction and the market's much higher still. Like, you know, remember I talk about the stock clown and how he called the market a bubble right around. And it's not just him. It's like, I consider old world thinkers, right? Now he's probably in the same age group as I am, but he definitely has more old world thinking skills and is massively wrong in the big picture to this day, because it was a bubble at 225 and it's been over 2 years now, and he's been massively wrong as we are still much higher, finishing a correction. So you have to understand already that a lot of people are wrong, and I'm still massively correct the big picture of the market, even through all of this. However, it doesn't mean you can catch everything. See, I'm a big picture expert, okay? I'm not a little baby scalper. And there's two different mentalities of making money. Now, will I make money the best money in these type of situations on the short term? And no, we haven't been making the best money. Have we made the money, the best money, the majority of the time? Of course. Documented on my YouTube channel, I have the best documented information on YouTube, anywhere. There is nobody, no service, other than they may have spreadsheets that mean nothing, that prove nothing. Mine actually show the plan before the fact, confirmation, and after the fact. And this to this day remains the truth. Hello, Pavan. Hello, Boran. Yeah, hello, everyone. So the big question here is this. So this market, we pulled back, right? And I'm going to talk about some key SPY supports. In other words, if you look at this stock, okay, if you look at the monthly chart of the SPY is still in a very, very strong. And this is not the chart I'm waiting for. The monthly chart takes a little bit too long, right? But it's still, if we were to connect, I'm just going to simply break this down. Just like in April, I talked about the SPY going to test 300. Well, we did. We did very, very closely. We did a lot more. Like back in here in April, the stock clown thought that what was it? No, April was what am I talking about here? Over here, sorry. The stock clown thought the market was going to collapse again, massively wrong. See, I want to make a big distinction here, especially for people who are not going to be in the live stream. There's a big difference between scalper mentality and big picture mentality, okay? Big picture mentality is what I am. And every system is going to do its best or worst at certain times. The key is, how do we make the big money when everybody has no faith anymore in the market, which is where we're at now. And therefore, I look at key stocks, right? So I'm going to mention something like, when you have a market that's this well, we've pulled back nicely now, and we're in the territory of where we are finished the correction zone and we're going to start to build. And I believe that in 2019, we are going to attempt to try and make new highs. Now, the way we're going to make money is we're going to go in, what I do is we go in plan by plan. So when certain plans confirm and do well, we're taking profits and going into new plans and so on and so forth. Well, that hasn't been the case. So I haven't been able to build a lot of great plays because the market hasn't been, we've been whipping up. We've been catching some great gains here and there. There are, of course, losses as well. But I'm pretty sure that I've led the market and I've told the facts the best out of everybody in terms of the big picture. I talked about Apple hitting 200, and we did. We actually hit 200 way before January. So was I right, the big picture in Apple? Of course I was, right? Was a stock clown. The stock clown is a stock clown. Little scalper baby. These people absolutely mean nothing. They have no skill, and they're the worst people to listen to make money because they don't know what they're doing, right? They're quick to get in and out of positions, and they'll miss gains. A lot of these, some of the so-called these option gurus out there, they talk about gains, and they said, well, we just missed the gain, but why did you not hold those up? Because the very method they use is not going to adapt to the market. So they will be cutting, they will be thinking like now, like the way the market is, they'll be getting out when the market changes and missing out the big gains, and not me. We will be prepared to catch very big gains, and through the group, people who will be through my group, we will be prepared to catch massive gains, okay? But even when every system, everybody has their downturn periods. This is a fact. Mine, unfortunately, is not very, unfortunately, mine's very small. So, we could say this month was not a really good month for me at all, but we did catch some good gains. But knowing what I understand and how I'm reading the market, let me put it to you this way. Nobody would know. We were getting bounce signals, but the market still, it's which time frame. And I've identified the time frame now, especially what happened today. So I have updated key numbers for the SPY. Okay, so one of the key numbers for the SPY is we're very strong still when 245, okay, has to be, you know, pretty much we need a strong close and a follow through of that number before there would be something detrimental to the market. Now, this is where we're far from that. My point is we're far from that due to key stocks like BA. Now, let me make a point. Honestly, people, I want to educate. This is very important to understand here. So let's talk about BA, okay? Difference between baby scalper, and I'm not joking here, baby scalper, no skills, and big picture thinker like me. If you're a billionaire, who would you want to listen to? Somebody who's projected and the stocks are much higher to this day, or people who can only catch what's in front of them 5 or 10 minutes and miss out on large gains doing so, which is the stock clown, the #1 clown on the internet. And that's why I talk about him. But it's perfect because there's a lot of stock clowns like that. Lots of them. He's the king of them because he actually talks and lies to people. I tell it how it is, and I tell you how to think. I want you to believe. Who do you want to believe? Me, who has definitely, I have, if you listen to my streams, you see, I talk about where things are going. And let's take a look at BA, for example, people. Okay, look at BA. So let me ask you something here. Are we not in a different market times? We have a market that so-called has corrected a lot now. But we're still in a new high terror. Look at old world thinker. Now the old world thinker is an important picture here. When an old world thinker, which is a majority of the people, okay, is still massively wrong since 2016, right? Massively wrong because the SPY was a bubble at 225. Well, the SPY is corrected and we are still above 250. You have to understand this, right? So let's take a look at things. Believe me when I tell you, people. And at the time I was on stock twits too when I was getting the flack. I was bullish BA here, all this area here that you see. This is monthly charts. When BA was in the 200, I was told that I was crazy to tell people to go long. There were so-called experts calling that this was the top and this was going to go lower. Well, again, if we go into my documented stream, and I told you people, if anybody wanted to debate me on that, I have documented proof. Anything that I say, I have a documented backup that I am the one who's the right and still in the right. Even after certain, there's going to be certain months that nobody is going to be listening to me. Nobody is going to be in the right all the time. They cannot be. The mistake of a system is to realize that you cannot be right all the time. Number one, any system, and number two, what do you want to do? Do you want to make the majority of the money for the right reasons, or do you want to make money from guessing, for the wrong reasons? Because the wrong reasons will always destroy you in the long run, and you'll have nothing left. All right. So back to BA here. To this day, okay, BA is much higher than 200. Would you not agree, people? Does this look like a stock of a market? Now, back in 2016, right? Now, we are kind of like corrected. Here's my analogy. We are like in the fear of 2016 with the way the market's acting, especially from today. A good thing. Because this is where there's going to be the right key stocks that are going to start to move, and then others will follow along. Right? So you need to be prepared to make the money the right way when the signals come in. Okay, and these are still the key stocks because these are companies that are making money through the roof. Okay, look at this chart. I want you to understand. I use the monthly chart because the monthly chart shows you. So let me get this straight. You think the baby scalper is $10 stock in '88? It's a different era, people. The people in this era here, their skills are baby skills. And what's involved now, and from now on I have kind of embodied. I've been in an era where I learned from some certain people, but I've learned to adapt and create my own system, therefore making me the most superior investor out there in terms of I want to understand my systems, understand what is the market really saying. Now, even no matter how good I try to understand the market, doesn't mean that you're going to be right that particular month, because the market has to do what it has to do, but then you're right for the next 8 months to a year, because the stock clown has been struggling, shorting and making money wrong. When where was the money you made? Listen, let me ask some people. Let's use some common sense, okay? Who do you want to listen to? The guy who's shorting all the way up here for crumbs, or the guy saying to go long? Who really has the power to make money? And I've said this to another analogy. Who is really the highest skill level? Is it the bulls or the bears? The bears are looking for what is going to go wrong. You know, they look for, they have the give up mentality, the breakdown mentality. They are broken people mentality. It's the building, the building of the market, which allows everybody to make money, both sides. Okay, but the most successful people, yeah. Again, I think this Klondike, we're not gonna. This guy here is not. So let me. I'm not gonna answer stupid people like that. So I want to answer. Actually, I can answer this guy. I want to ask everybody out there who made the most money. If we look at this chart, who made the most money? Stock clown John. The bulls or the bears in BA. If I was a billionaire, if the billionaire invested over here and he's held the stock, is he not laughing to the bank to this day, even when it's so-called drop on a short term? Enough said. Listen, I'm trying to educate people to think on a different level. Market, if you're thinking small scalper, like there was a guy telling me I could have been rich if I held Netflix, but the problem is, that guy who told me, and if he's listening, you don't have the mental capacity to catch. See, he said this. Listen carefully what one guy says to me. If I would have just held Netflix, listen carefully, people, I would have been a millionaire. All kinds of money. The problem was that guy who said those words doesn't understand that his one weakness was, which is what I don't have. Mental flaw. They don't understand how to really make money. They want to make money the wrong way. There is only a right way to make money, the big money. The scalper people don't know how to make money. That's why they are scalper. That means you know nothing. Like stock clown. Why am I correct? Because I'm the one who's been right the big picture to this day. So just because the market, I'm still right, even if the market goes down temporarily, I am still right. Because the market is much higher. I'm going to put the SPY Klondike because some of these people are clowns. You know. I'm sorry, Mr. Clown, but what does that say? What does that look to you? Does that look like the SPY is still in a strong uptrend or a downtrend? Do you know what a downtrend is? So if I draw this line at these key levels, these are monthly chart. Okay, who is correct? The big picture to this day. Yours truly. Now, if this was down here, if the SPY was over here, that's where the stock clown thought the SPY would go. This is where he's massively wrong, the big picture. I am still massively correct, the big picture. That's the big distinction, people. Massively wrong is the stock clown because the market's not here. Massively right is me, because the market's over here. Does that make any sense, people? You understand what I'm saying? So, I would be having a lot of great plans added to my YouTube channel for 2019 because of my big picture mindset. The majority of the time, not all the time, remember this. But when I'm going to make some gains, they're going to be astronomical gains because I'm mentally prepared. I'm not scalper. I'm not going to listen. I realize that you got to choose what you want to be. If you want to be the best, if you want to be a scalper, you got to trade like a scalper all the time. You can't catch big gains because your mind is you got to be baby scalper. If you want to catch big gains, it goes both ways. You're going to have some losses. 60-70% losses here and there. That's chump change to the 300-400% gains. I have an Amazon plan, and you see it for yourself. The options were like options going from $600 to $56,000, $5,600. I have many winning plans like that, but that required big picture identification skills, and the market was in the right zone for that. Obviously, the market, when it's in a correction zone, isn't the best, but we were still able to catch some great gains to offset some of the losses. Now, this was probably one of my worst months in a very, very long time. In other words, for the majority, since 2016, I have made amazing, powerful, listen, people who listening to me, and if you look at 2016, which is over here, are we not, who won? Who was right, the big picture? And people were bearish like the stock clown and wrong. And to this day, wrong. Listen, people, still wrong. It's not, they're still wrong. Hello, stock market investing. Hammered, the algos are swinging stock. Yeah, that's right. Chop City, that's right. That's right, stock market invest. Now, this guy here, at least I know that I could speak with this guy here, and he understands about the market. Now, what I was saying, stock market investing, is if we look at the big picture, who is the real winner still to this day? Is it the bear, the little baby scalper, or the big picture bull? Now, I decided a long time ago that I want to be a big picture bull. And so even the big picture bull cannot make money all the time. The scalper may be making the most money now, but they failed to make the most money over here. Trust me on this. I know. Stock clown was underwater I said to the stock clown that if he would have just went the opposite way of what he was doing, because he was wrong, the big picture, he would have made 10 to 20 times more money. And I know this from an example of Home Depot. We were in a trade of Home Depot, and he quickly got out of it. I got to take my gains. Are you crazy? I said, you should hold. It's going to go up higher. He said to me, you're crazy. And he missed out massive gains. I mean, we're talking about 100, because he's a scalper, baby picture scalper. They don't know anything. I'm a big picture expert. Billionaire mindset. Okay, billionaire mindset think very different than baby scalper. Baby scalper, I gotta take the money and run. I gotta take the money. No. I don't want to take the money and run. I want to catch the big gains, because the big gains will offset any problems. Keep me always on the big gains. And I know if I ask a simple question here, let me ask any common sense for brains people. Take the year 1990. Who is the winner? The Bears? From the year 1990 to where we are now, or the bulls? Now, over here in 09, you would have said, my God, what a disaster, right? But in the end, look where we are. Big picture always win, but the skills of big picture is a different mindset, and that's where most people lack. Over 90%. They lack the big picture skills to make the big dollar bills. They become losers like the stock clown, stock bookie. Big time loser in life. If you would match him up with me in real life, you would see me and him physically, mentally, and what I'm saying, annihilate the guy. Chicken and finish him. No comparison. Okay. I'm simply 10 times ahead of him, and will always be 10 times ahead of him, no matter what age I am. And as he gets older, he will decline. I will only rise. I will be able to make more money because will have sharper and better skills. Big picture wins. It's life. Money, listen people, we can lose money. Dan Zanger, give me a story. Dan Zanger, before he made it big, this is what really happened. I'm going to tell you the story because it's very interesting. So before he made it big, he made money to the upside. He made $400,000. And then he lost that money. You'd say, oh, he made $400,000, but he did not, listen carefully people. He had made $400,000, but he made it the wrong way. When he made $400,000, you say, he made $400,000, he was successful. No, he actually lost it. Then the story was he then sold he sold his vehicle, and he had put the last $11,000 that he had, and vowed that he would never let the market take his money again. Now the market was a baby easy joke back when he made his money. This is a fucking there was a joke town back then. But regardless of the joke town, he had honed the skill and method that made him the majority of the money. And that was not baby scalper mentality. Like I told you, the skill set between him and me are up. I mean, if there was me with the same skill, but I was too small back then, right? And with the skill set that I have now in my experience, but to match his, I would be probably 20 times higher than that guy. And but that's not how it is. We're in this difficult era. We have to go by that. But I'm saying, back in 2016, I proved to myself and to anybody who wants to delve into it, how much more skill I have in the big picture over that guy. Now that guy has some skill. He did not think baby scalper. Right? He has a better mentality. I know I'm going to say give it, but what I'm saying is, when it comes to talking too much, he talks. When it comes to trying to be the big picture expert, a big picture leader, sorry, that's where he's clearly far behind. And I have the documented proof in 2016, far behind. Don't pretend to tell you know where the market is going. Just stick to your plans. It's like the stock clown. Don't tell people you know where Apple's going. Just be a little baby scalper and don't talk baloney and make yourself sound like you know what you're talking about when you have no clue. I know what I'm talking about. I have the documented proof on my YouTube channel, right? So what's happening with the market is the market has to do its thing, right? But the big picture remains. Those who are long make the most money. I want to ask yourself a question. It's very simple. Look at this monthly chart, and I'm telling you to think a little differently. And I'm going to say compare 1990, even compare 2003. SPY is at 84. Compare 2009. SPY is 73. People would say, oh, the market, the bears were the winner here. But when you compare 98 to 2009 in this channel, we made a shift in the market. I explained this, right? We made a shift. Massive shift. And then also Carl Icahn was massively wrong too. Again, an older gentleman, okay, but doesn't have the big picture leadership skills anymore. Money, just money alone. Listen, Apple was at financial bankruptcy at one point. It is now the richest company. It's got nothing to do with money. It's got to do with the big picture. Steve Jobs was right, the big picture, in how things should be, and won, because they were the first company. They were a company that were at the lowest point and went on to be the highest point and bankrupt many companies. And that's what I'm like. You think of it, someone like me, like Apple, okay, where I'm this entity that has all this potential because I'm right, the big picture. And that's what I learned is the most important, because money comes and goes. What's the point of having money if you have no health? And this is a number. Listen, this is what the so-called smartest minds in the world are struggling with: health. What to do? Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. I found massive mistakes people are doing, and I do massive study on this. So solving this. That's another issue. I don't want to talk about that right now, people. But as a big picture leader, what's the difference between me is I know I'm a big picture leader, and I'm going to talk that way because I am. Because I have been right the big picture. So whether you want to look at 2009, okay, which was eight years ago, right, 9 years ago roughly, right? Who won? The bulls, not the baby scalper. Broke loser, stock clown, stock bookie. Finished loser, garbage. Big picture, winner. Me. Stock clown, loser, winner. Big picture. Now, I've explained the analogy here. It's very simple. I look at it this way, show you this, okay? The SPY now is at a turning point now. And even though we cracked some numbers, I looked at all the different times, so I know what the most accurate time frame, what was the best measurement, and what's going on now. In other words, I had to make an adjustment. And we are still okay. In other words, SPY, as long as the SPY is above 245, and how we stay above 245 gives us because certain key stocks are much stronger than they should be still. Example, Amazon. So my advice is I'm preparing my group to be making the money in the right stocks on the right confirmation. Slowly building into it when the market gives a signal. So preparing mentally. I believe the market is set up now. See, first of all, the U.S. dollar has to, as soon as the U.S. dollar starts to go down, that doesn't help. When the U.S. dollar remains where it's at, that doesn't help the market, right? You notice that stocks like TSO, oil is dropping, and it's good for certain things, right? But then you got the pressure. So we have these different yings and yangs that are happening in the market. Let's see, BA, Amazon, etc. They are definitely stocks that are unexpectedly showing strength. That's right. That's my point. Stock market investing. Amazon and BA, that kind of strength in those stocks, it's a game changer. In other words, you cannot think of the market like back here. And that's why the stock clown struggles. It doesn't see that. He can't understand. My point is that this market is not that simple to say that it's going to go down, that it's a bubble, that it's too high. It's not that case, because you have stocks with, look at BA is worth way more than what it's at now. But they got to play their games. BA keeps going higher. A lot of people couldn't believe that BA. I'm telling you, it's true. You know, stock market. I swear, was getting flack when BA was 200. They were saying to me that I'm crazy to tell people, and I have a lot of documented videos about BA in my created playlist. You got to go far into it, right? Because they're there. And you know, the stock clown was shorting, telling people to short BA at 240, then at 260, but he doesn't talk about that. Doesn't talk about how massive, because he's a scalper. Then he only shouts when the markets finally come. Listen, when you're wrong for years, eventually you're gonna catch a nut here and there. But he didn't catch it because he was right. It just, then market naturally has to. It can't just go straight up, right? There's gonna be these swings, right? But when it comes to the big picture, stock market, you're right, showing strength. Yeah, that's right. Tesla, another thing. That's right. This is unusual too, because you see, Tesla isn't a stock, it's a different kind of company. They're not really making killer numbers, right? But let's look at Tesla. So how is this market not, do you not see my point? The market is very different market, okay? And I'm this kind of mindset. I'm looking at, listen, this market wants to go higher. So when you got old world thinkers like the stock clown thinking that they're making money scalping, but they've been wrong since 2016, massively wrong, because he was bearish that whole run. I have documented proof of this, right? If anyone wants to put money on against my words, you're going to lose. Nobody's stupid enough, let me say stupid enough, to try to go against what I say. They'll be the odd trolls, but they have nothing. They got no channel, they got no documented proof, they got nothing. They got nothing that I would go with lawyers. Listen, I will put money on, I will win. I guarantee you that I will bankrupt anybody trying to go against what I'm saying, because I'm saying the truth. I'm right. End of story. You can't deny what I've been saying. So I'm still saying the market's going higher, right? And we will, it's BA. I mean, you got to look at, even MasterCard, okay? Let's look at like a MasterCard, right? These financials, this market isn't a market that's going to collapse. This is a market that wants to go higher, but it has to correct this. I mean, look at MasterCard. Like, come on, people. Let's think about this now. In 09, listen to me. Think here. 09, it's $15 stock. Who won, stock clown John? The bulls or the bear? Who's making the money? Who's the richest people on the planet? The bulls. If you're a bear, you're a baby. You're a nothing. You're a loser. You're the minority. The majority of the powerful people, of where growth, the market is built on growth, not on destruction. Destruction is part of it. There's companies that have to go out of business. This is fine. But that doesn't mean the whole market has to come crashing down because you think the market is too high. You're wrong. Look at BA. Look at MA. I'm giving you some different perspective. You gotta think. You can't look at just some crappy stocks. You know, when it comes to the stocks that count. Yeah, that's right. Trump and his band of idiots is what killing the markets. Yeah, and that's another point. You know, Eric made another point here, but it doesn't matter. But those guys can't stop progress. Like, look at MasterCard, Eric. Right. So let's look at MasterCard here. Right. Like, you tell me who's right. So I'm making you look at real companies. Why can't the stock clown make money on real companies? Because they don't know how to make real money. They are baby-minded people, okay? They're not Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett was never small-minded. He thought big picture, always, okay? Just a different type of big picture, right? A type of big picture that most people, they can't do, right? But it's still big picture, right? The guy a billionaire that's shorting the market, as I said, he's not the most successful billionaire, right? He's actually underwater. The guy shorting Tesla, right? So, whereas Warren Buffett went long Apple, who's making the money? Again, who's the smarter billionaires making the money? The ones choosing to go long, the ones listening to someone like the big picture leader, yours truly, right? Like, if we look at Apple, let's look at a monthly chart of Apple, right? Let's talk about this reality here. Who's the winner? Who's the winner? Stock on. Apple in 09 was $12 because don't forget they had a 7-to-1 split. But it wasn't $12, but in 09 it was a $12 stock. It is a $160 stock now. Who is the winner? And we had a high of 230. Who is the winner? The bull? The bear are minuscule. It takes the bulls to make money. See, if the bear was to make money here, finally after losing up for who knows how much, right? It was because of the bulls. Remember, the highest skill is the bull trader, not the bear trader. The bear trader is a loser, broken down, who doesn't know how to make money, and they had to figure out negativity. It's true, people. The least amount of skill is that way. And they're losers in life in general, and in their health and well-being. And they don't even have their life together. You will not see a successful bear have his life together too, by the way. If you look at the stock clown, I guarantee you that if we see his family, everything's broken in his life. I guarantee you. And you put him against me, okay, you see my face, you see my stuff, you see me, my videos. Right? I represent the bulls, the successful people. And by having my health at my age, I already destroyed and annihilated the majority of the people out there. A lot of people at my age are broken down, don't have their health. So money can't buy that. And if you're in the grave, what good is it at 46 years old if you have billions of dollars and won't make a difference, right? So trust me, I think I know what I'm talking about, okay? I think I know what I'm talking about. Right, then you had the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin thing. People, oh, Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is not proven, you know, people made money, you know, everybody looks for the, listen, I always was focused on on the big picture. I had a big picture of Apple, and I've been a long-term investor of Apple, really, pretty much, I would say, yeah, I would say since 07. So I think I'm a big winner as a long-term investor. Stock clown John. Baby scalper, man. You know, so Netflix. Let's talk about Netflix. So one guy said to me, guys, I'll tell you a story, really. He said, when Netflix was going up, but they don't have the mental capacity to really make money. They don't understand this, right? Netflix used to be in 09. Let's talk about this, people. Was a $5 stock in 09. So, again, who is the real winners here? The bulls, the long-term investors, the big picture thinkers, or the baby little scalpers? Who has the skill? Now me, I chose to learn how to make the big dollar bills and do it with options, and a lot of people could make money that way. But with a different angle, big picture thinking. And sure, we're going to have our losses, but not when we're focusing on this. It takes 1 month, 1 week of the year of the right thing that can flip your account. Trust me, can make a year's worth of money. In a month, years of money. With the big picture mentality. Crazy amounts of money. But as soon as you lose focus of that and you start to go back to the little scalper mentality, you will never have a chance to become something successful with real skill. And that's what the stock clown does not have, and I do. And that's the difference, people. So I teach that. I teach big picture, not baby scalper. Okay? Mentality. Okay? And he knows that he was wrong with Home Depot that time. He had missed out on massive gains and what I did not. And that's the difference, that he can't do it even when the opportunities are presented to them. I'm telling you, people, it's a mindset. And no method will catch everything 100% of the time. But what mind does the majority of the time. I've had setbacks trying to do the right thing. And you know what? It's impossible to be perfect. Listen, it's clear as a bell. I mean, Carl Icahn, he had vast majority of resources, and yet it doesn't matter. His mindset, he could not figure out Apple. He could not figure out, he was wrong, massively wrong, the market in 2016, and massively wrong Apple. So I understand that. Yours truly was not. Warren Buffett then jumped up ship many years later of me making all these winning plans in Apple with options way before the 7-to-1 split. So people, I'm a legacy. I have a deep experience, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, you've got somebody that has more power than the generations before me, and I have to merge it into a much more difficult environment and way of thinking, because what the market has done has never been done before, and this is why it's impossible to be perfect. But I believe as time goes on, my skills will only increase. Right? Health, wealth. This is something that will never be seen. I will be a leader in these metrics. You will see as the years go on how I lead in these metrics. But again, this is for the top 10% who are smart. See, if you're a donkey, if you dumb, you're just going to be a sick man when you get older. Mark my words. The odds are stacked against you because the information out there is too many people out there with this and that and that. So we have what's called an information overload, and you need someone who oversees the information. And that's me. A leader to oversee, to guide. And then you do got to think for yourself too. You got to think a little bit. Understand what I'm saying. If I say to study what I'm saying in my videos, if you don't take the time to do that, then you deserve to lose. If you don't listen to my words and understand what I'm saying, you're going to lose the big picture. Because you're not thinking big picture, you're still staying in a small-minded picture. See? Bitcoin is for bag holders. Governments will never give up control of their real estate. But see, I was never big on I bought 30K of Bitcoin at 2,000 coins. But you made a lot of money. You made a lot of money in Bitcoin stock market investing. Yeah, that's right, Edwin. But there are key stocks that are not going to go sideways and that will make moves. We got to focus on them. Remember, I'm big picture thinking, and look at the big picture in Netflix. You got to understand this, people. Look at the big picture. Do yourself a favor and look at key stocks on monthly charts. Then think about where the market's at now. Then also think about how the stock clown thought that the market was above the 225, and you're going to understand that the market is not as simple as looking at moving averages, and there's more thinking involved, and adaptive, and taking in the information from the market. what the market's telling me is that it can go higher because we have companies that are really, like BA is making some serious coin, right? Amazon is making some serious coin. In fact, there are many companies that are, it's a big economy in itself, Amazon, because there's many sub companies inside of Amazon that use Amazon to make their business, right? You never had that before. Like, what's going on in the way money is being made, it's a whole different, it never existed in the year 2000 or ever in history. We are in a different era, people. Like the way where computers are and the advancement, there was a massive shift in 2007. The iPhone really, I keep telling, listen people, it's not no joke when I say this, but the iPhone, I saw a massive shift in how the computers were used in 2000, from the year 2000 and onwards, simply because of the iPhone, right? Just think about this now. It changed, the iPhone changed everything. They changed the way carriers did business. Carriers were just, they you know, they were, you know, like, you know, I'll give you an example. TELUS had when TELUS started up, they only had a phone. TELUS, they're a network offering in Canada. They only had a phone, and they sold their own phone. Now they don't sell their phone because they're making their money on the connections on the internet and selling other people's phones. They don't care what phone you have, as long as you have a phone and you're using their network. They're making money now, because now they're selling internet, TV, for everything, right? Before it was only telephone, right? And so business has also changed too, because it used to be people would want to go to a store to buy things. Now a lot of people are just simply ordering online, right? And that in the year 2000, even in 2007, that was like, yeah, right, you know, still, you know. But in 2018, in a very short time, that changed, and a lot of big businesses went down the tubes, right? You know, Nokia was a huge giant. Now they make smartphones so that so that you can use and the only way they can sell it is using the Google operating system, for example. But they used to be their own brand, own identity. Massive shift of changes happen in history and faster than ever before, people. So why would that market not be different now? And so people think that all the books they read back, all the books you read back, they're history. It's old news. You got to look at the market very differently. It's adaptive thinking. That's the only way. Adaptive thinking of what's going on from key leaders, and then what's the market really doing, and looking at other metrics. It's a lot different thinking involved. And my system is built upon that. And because I'm being right the big picture, I know I have a much brighter future than someone like a stock clown that's going to remain a baby scalper that won't be nothing anymore. That will just go downhill. Because as the market doesn't go down the way he says it's going to go down, it still hasn't gone down the way he said. Right? Look at, if the SPY was a bubble, people, let me ask you something, people. If the SPY was a bubble, what time is it? If the SPY was a bubble, if the SPY was a bubble at 225, that's over here, we'll say. And you tell me right now, is the market not higher still? Even after this couple of months drop? Well, it looks like this will be a back-to-back, like this was a back-to-back month, and then we just went up. And then, so what I'm getting at is, if you look at the bulls, see, this is where the stock, grandma, all through this, grandma. Oh, these are monthly charts. Wrong. He was right here. Oh, wrong. Oh, you think he was right. And in the end, big picture expert decimated, cremated, crushed the clown. To this day, crushing the clown. Crush. He can't handle the truth. So he thinks that, because the market went down today, no, the market went down because the market has to go and do what it needs to do. That's his correction. But is the market really down, people? Let's think about this, sir. So from 94, is the market really that down? Looks like it's still 4 or 5 times its value. From the year 2003, is it really down? No, it looks like it's more than double the value. From 2009, is it really down? No. And also from 2016, it's still up a good 20%. So I ask you, stock clown, or any bears out there that think that they're they want to lie, that you are clueless scalpers that are going to be broke in the future, guarantee. Believe me, you hang up your gloves. You're going to be broke. Trust me. You have no idea how the market's going to. It's very different now. You will make money a small fraction of the time and not make money the majority of the time. Or I will make money the majority of the time and a small fraction of the time I will not. And in fact, that will even shorten, because my skills are continuously improving. And the way I thought about the market, I have done absolutely nothing wrong. Absolutely nothing wrong. Because as soon as when I started analyzing everything, I said, this is the reality. You cannot be right. You can be wrong and still be right. In other words, you're right the big picture, but you got to go through you got to go through the process. And you can tell, I could tell that my trades, and I can't get into things the way I hold, or get into many plans, or plans wouldn't be. I already knew. And I already know we haven't gotten some key signals that I wanted. You know, like we didn't close. I was looking, we kept failing to close positive every day. We continuously got those rises. It looked promising, but we needed a daily strong close. And we didn't get that today. That's okay. We're going to get that, but we need to also get into the right side. And I know all the pivots, and there's going to be plenty, and there's still plenty of opportunity to make great gains in, people listen carefully, the right stocks. They should not be called bears, maybe roaches. Only come out when the lights go out for crumbs. That's right. It's true. And I've proven that right over here, guys. Listen. It's common sense when I explain it in this terms. Like I'm showing these lines. I've explained this before in April. And to this day, I'm still right the big picture. The market is still higher. What is the stock client going to say in 2019 when we're over here? Believe me, I won't be saying his name. There's not much more, because that time is going to come when I'm going to eradicate so many people. My videos are all documented, and I will just point to my December video, what I said. And I will eradicate a lot of donkeys out there. They're going to realize, man, listen, eventually people realize that they don't know what they're doing, and they will come to the big picture expert. I know, I'm big picture thinking, okay? Money will always come to me on success when you have the right mindset, the right thinking. That will come to you. When you do not, you will always break down. That's what happened to stock. That's what happened to Dan Zanger before he made it big. He had to lose, and he lost 400,000. Explain the story. And again, he made 400,000 the wrong way, much like a scalper, like the scalper stock clown. Wrong way thinking. He makes money sometimes, but he loses most. But he makes it the wrong way, the wrong mentality, the wrong thinking. Not a builder, not following the rules of the big money. The big money is what built this market. This market's up here. The bulls, the bull billionaires are the winners, not the bear billionaires. They're going to be, their net worth is going to drop to nothing if they're a bear. I'm sure the Tesla bear is just financing. He's going to be giving a lot of his money to Tesla. Who's winning right now? Is it the Tesla bear or the bull? You know, Stock Clown said that this was too high at 280, short. To this day, Tesla is 300. Look where it is. Again, I ask you, who is the real winner here? The bull or the bear? The bears couldn't even make money if it wasn't for the bulls. And that's another analogy people aren't thinking. You couldn't even make money if there wasn't the bulls. Donkey, bear. So respect the big picture leader. Respect the big picture people. You should be ala saliming people like me. Because it's people like me that stimulate the right kind of things to happen. That give you an opportunity to make your crumbs in comparison. But it's the bulls that built the world. Why we have Apple where it's at was bullish mentality, not bearish mentality. Bearish mentality almost brought Apple to bankruptcy. It was the bullish mentality of Steve Jobs that brought it to the pinnacle of where it's at to this day, regardless of what you want to think of Apple. That is my message here. I want to get you thinking, because I'm thinking in a very different, higher level than the majority of the people out there. And I'm telling you straight how it is. Most people are out too much. Mainstream thinking is loser thinking. Bill Gates was not a mainstream thinker. Okay? Mainstream thinkers are people who go to university to try to make something of themselves. The most successful people made it through their own brain thinking power. My skill set that I came up with from my own experience of observation. The best. I studied the best. Never did it through traditional means. They couldn't. Traditional means you're a loser. There's no Bill Gates or even a Mark Zuckerberg did not have mainstream mentality thinking. Trust me on this. Understand the difference between big picture thinking and baby scalper thinking. And I've given in this world over here. I hope this live stream has opened up your minds to the truth of how I think. I try to make money the right way through real metrics. And yeah, we're going to have some losses in that because it's impossible to get everything right. But in my YouTube channel, I demonstrated with videos of countless plans, countless of stocks that count. And it shows massive success. Massive success. And I did that for a reason. It's very powerful information there. We are going to keep repeating that year after year after year. Not all the time, and that's okay. But we'll also lessen that too. Remember, we are in a different era. It's like new growth and new thinking. New tactics are needed. New way of thinking is needed. The way people are thinking of the education, if you're thinking, any of these so-called clowns out there thinking like the year 2000 or whatever, that doesn't work now. Because there was no Amazon back then. Amazon was at its infancy back in the year 2000. I mean, let's take a look at Amazon, people, and let's laugh at who's the winner again. See, Amazon is a bull. That's why Jeff Bezos is one of the richest men on. I told you, the richest people are the bulls. Remember this? Bulls, not the bears. Bears are babies. Baby. Nothings. It's the bulls. Amazon is real money-making machine. This isn't some dot-com bubble into the year 2000. See, that was the infancy. There was startups and things, right? Different world, people. Look where Amazon is. Look where it was in 2009. Let's read the number. $64. How much of, let's say you owned the shares, how much would you make? 1,000 shares of Amazon today, what are they worth? 64,000 is worth like $1.6 million. Right? And if you sunk one million over here, you'd be worth 100 million being an investor in Amazon. You would have quadrupled. Listen, you would be able to buy yourself 100 houses. So some people, they bought one house and they watched their values double. But an investor, bull, not bear. Remember this, people. Not bear. Bear baby. Bull, big shot. Bear baby, bull, big shot. I'm not making this up. I'm just teaching you through facts. Different mindset. Bear baby, bull, big shot. We will always win. We catch them. The money is understanding where to make the money. The big picture. That is never going to change, people. Learn how to make money the big picture. Is it easy? No. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But you got to have a different mindset. And that's what I'm about. Big picture leader. And it's not for the majority. The majority are losers. Babies in life will have poor health. Look at it. You hear the obesity levels are higher than ever before. We have more education. more information than ever before, and we have higher obesity rates, we should have 10 times less obesity rates. Why? Because the information overload. People don't know how to use the information that they're seeing. They don't know what's right from wrong. The people who are educating don't even know what they're doing. Big picture leader. Our own government, they do more damage than good, right? The governments, right? It's the companies like Amazon and Google's. These are and social media. These companies are actually growing and doing positive things. Governments just cause trouble. This is only, if it wasn't for stupidity, stupid politics, the market would be much higher. Would be at 300 plus the SPY. That's where it deserves to be. You know why? Because that's what the big picture is really saying when you look at all the facts. But when you're a little scalper, you only look at the little thing, but you don't look at this fact right here. See what I'm showing you? I'm teaching you here in Amazon. I'm teaching you powerful information. It's very simple, but it's coming from me. This is telling you something. What's the big picture? Fatso. If you're a fat person, right? What's the big picture, Fatso? Lots of Fatsos. What's the big picture, Fatso? Right? Do you want to be fat and sick, or do you want to be healthy and strong? Example, right? What do I want to preach and teach? Healthy and strong. And then have money. Never, do not, one of the biggest mistakes people do is they make money at the expense of their health. Big fat mistake. Example like Steve Jobs, except his body broke down. Money was the priority at the expense of the health. Big fat mistake in what, no matter how successful you are, you don't want to go down, and a lot of people are going down in bad health, you know. I think it was it Laverne Shirley, an actress. She died because of diabetes complication. Again, diabetes are a metabolic disorder that is preventable, by the way, but not by the means of mainstream thinking. Again, I see why there are people who die for wrong reasons. Drug overdose, obesity, drug-related, metabolic-related, overweight-related, you name it, right? All preventable, but not by mainstream metrics, right? Baby, mainstream is more like bear thinking mentality. It's just all wrong, right? Bear, bull, bear, baby, wrong. Bull, me, successful, strong. We need people like that to lead, because the drug companies are killing people, and you know what, people are putting them on a pedestal. Yay! What drug are you going to give me? Oh, you got cholesterol? I got a drug for that. We got 10 drugs for your cholesterol problem. You see how distorted the world is? When these are the bad billionaires, by the way. Right? Those drug companies, bad billionaires. Anyways, I don't want to get, there's a certain shift there's a big shifts happening in the world, and there's a lot of wrong in the world. But what I'm getting is this. You want to make money the right way. And those who strive to learn how to make money the right way, not baby scalper thinking like a stock con, will always prevail. But my message is a lot bigger. It's, what about your health? You know, what about your health? I don't have much opens. The only thing I'm right now in is some BA, but I have plans. I'll be posting in Power Group Trades. I know the pivots. My message here in this live stream is the market. We need more information, but the market is nowhere bearish at all. In fact, we are going to. I believe we're going to have a good. We're going to have a better 2019. Like a run. We didn't have a bad year. 2018 was a very good year for the bulls. The majority of the time, the bulls won. But what caused the market to go down really wasn't because of bad earnings. If you look at the earnings of BA, you look at a lot of companies that had great earnings. It's all political stuff that caused it. Again, politics. You know, people who don't, mainstream thinkers. You know, they don't solve problems, they create problems, right? Like really, we're in Canada, right? So What does a politician decide to do? He decides to legalize marijuana. Is that going to help society? No. It just makes money for the government, but it won't help society. That's what I'm telling you. People think government, the hospitals are going to save them. No, I'm sorry to tell you people. What I'm trying to tell you, you need a big picture leader like me. My advice will save your life 20 times more than anything out there. And yet people still don't want to see that. I'm not telling you a lie here. If you take any advice from me, you learn from me, your health will be that much better if you listen to my advice over any mainstream advice out there. And I'm in a perfect example of it too, because I've studied both ways. I know I've done a lot of mainstream stuff in the past because that's the information I had. But I'm like a leader. Why I say I'm a leader, when information is presented, I decide what is really the best. Right? Like, I'll give you an example. Lululemon, you know, I think they were a good company. I actually like their clothes. Right? This is one of their sweaters right now from Lululemon right here. They make sweaters for men. I love the customer service. Great company. And I was telling this to one of my guys. I says, let's take a look at Lulu, right? And look at Lulu. Looks like a very strong stock to me. I mean, from 09, it was a $4 stock, and it's 115, right? It's a clothing company, guys, right? I said I never liked Under Armour too much. I don't think the customer service sucks. Their products aren't that great. Is it UA? Let's take a look at Under Armour. Opposite. I have the ability to see what is the right, like in anything in life. I'm right. Like, I've called a lot of companies are going to go bankrupt, and they went bankrupt. They may have not been listed or anything, but I have the ability to see the big picture. I've been right like all my life on these things, but now I'm on a bigger scale through the market. And these two companies is another proof of it. Just like I was a big picture expert with Apple, I was a bull on Apple the longest time. Like, we're talking about from guaranteed from 2007, 2010 area, and onward. Then I left it. We left it temporarily, but long, because that's the only stock I could get my wife to want to invest in. As a long-term investment too. She wouldn't touch the market any other way. That one I convinced her, and she fell in love with it. And that has been nothing but producing gains and gains and gains and gains and gains for a very long time. Massive gains, you know. Massive gains in Apple as a long-term investor. And on top of that, I've made big gains in a lot of option plans. So tell me, baby scalper, or the baby scalpers out there, who's the winner? You can never win, the big picture expert. You don't know what you're up against. I'm gonna put you under my feet, crush you like a pebble under my feet. Most of these people that want to speak against me, I crush them like a pebble under my feet. They run for the hills. They're not gonna debate me on here. They know I'm right. If you listen to my live stream, everything that I'm saying, you know I'm right. Look at the analogy. I'm not honestly. Lululemon and Under Armour. I never liked this company. I never thought it had potential. Down to the ground it goes. Garbage. Right? It never went anywhere. Lulu, I've been loved this company. Great customer service, even though they had their changes and stuff. Success. But there's a reason. You know, now, you know what I mean? Like, I have this I'm a big picture thinker. I know, and if I tell you that there's a lot of wrong in the world, I could run. I have ideas that we need to. There's so much changes, but I don't like. All governments don't know what they're doing. They never make the success is coming from by big picture thinkers who grow, who have ideas like Bezos, you know, like the guy, the CEO of Amazon, like Bill Gates, like Steve Jobs. None of these people are mainstream thinkers. All the biggest successful, what made the world go, it wasn't from government. Never has been and never will be. It doesn't matter who's at the helm. It won't make a difference. The market's going to go where it has to go, based on what companies do. you know, based on smart, intelligent billionaires. There are stupid billionaires, I've said this before, and then there are intelligent billionaires, right? Anyways, people, I think this was a very powerful I remember when Amazon was at 250, I sold all my shares last fall. But I'm saying, but you see what I'm saying, stock market investing, that it's the big picture that really wins. Like, it's to have that mindset, and that's not easy. I never said it was easy, but I'm saying to you, what if there's anything in history that I could show you is that big picture, or the one when you hear me talking like this, and I talk about health and wealth, is that's what really wins the big picture of things. You need both, right? I mean, you don't have to have the most wealth in the world. You want to have good wealth, you know, well off enough to eat well and whatever, and have that lifestyle, a control, which I want to teach and preach, right? And as that time, that's on my radar to the top minds. Like, most people just, they don't have what it takes to really, like, it. Life isn't going to be for the majority, it's going to be for the minority. That's just right now, the way we are structured in society. It's still not for the majority, it's for the minority. And I have to go after the minority that have the brains to want to invest in themselves, to better themselves. Because if they don't, well, they will be like the majority, right? You know, they may have some money, but their health in the gutter. That's a losing way. I mean, no matter how much success you have, if you die to a disease that was clearly preventable, and people who have money don't have the mindset. Like, I'm pretty sure that movie star had the money, but they didn't have the mindset. You know, a lot of these people never had the mindset. They had success in one way, but they didn't have it the other side. And as a leader, I want to tell people that you want to have both. And there is a wealth and, I don't know, like a sense of self-worth that you can't buy. Like, you cannot buy health. You've got to work for health. You can't just buy it. You got to strategize it. You got to realize it, right? You can't just buy it. And who do you want to learn from? That kind of mentality that makes money in this world, is able to see the big picture, or do you want to learn from a scalper baby mind that is sick for 3 weeks with a cold, with high inflammation in his body? Because if you're sick for 3 months, for 3 weeks with a cold, like you're coughing still, can't get rid of it, you're damn weak. You're gonna be pretty bad shape at 70. But when you're at that age and you didn't listen to me, don't remember. Hopefully the Stockholm listens. Don't say I didn't warn you. And anybody out there, if you get sick and you're sick for more than 3 weeks, there's something wrong, and there's a big fat warning sign. If you have a cold for 3 weeks, you're very weak, very sick. You better change your life. Big picture expert, contact me. Life will be changed. But I will give you the advice. You got to work for it. You got to do the right things. But my direction, to the stars. Anyway, even the stock clone. Stock clone listens to me. He'd be saying, you know, guys, I was wrong. I was wrong about the big picture expert, the big picture leader. I was a big donkey. But you'd have to admit first that he's a stupid guy. That, big picture leader here, he saved my life, big picture. But if he was smart, but he's not. He's a loser, bear. Loser. Anyways, people. Good night, people. Listen, people. I did say about the key numbers of the SPY. PowerTarget Trade, yours truly. I know about the key numbers, and we're okay, people. SPY's okay. Market's very good, very healthy. As I explained it, this is a consumer product, right? And if you think about it, people, it looks very healthy to me still, doesn't it? We are in a new era. Do not think like a little baby scalper. You're going to be broke. You're going to be a baby. You're never going to catch the big gains. Never. And then don't forget about your health, people. Good night, people. Have a good night, people.